All right. Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of Game Set Live. This makes it episode number 5. And for all of you catching us on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch right now, I have got some wonderful people with me tonight. A little change from the norm. My panelists, they got a little tired of me and they had to take a vacation. No, seriously. Lupa is having some medical tests done, and they want to keep her a few days. No worries. She says she's okay. But because of the tests, they do need to monitor her for a few days. And apparently, Powerman 4K has got COVID so bad that when he sits up, he falls over in the other direction. So, but the show must go on. And so I reached out to all my buddies, all my pals, and I think we've got a pretty fire show lined up for you all tonight. First off, Mr. Hargeet Chani. Sir, tell us a little bit about yourself. And what is your game of the week? What have you not been able to pull yourself away from?
I'm Hargeet Chani. I'm part of Game On Daily, and lately I've been playing Sniper Elite and Yakuza. So I've been Yakuza Like a Dragon. So I've been splitting time between both of those.
That's not the turn-based one, is it?
That is the turn-based one. Yeah, yeah. I actually kind of don't like that it's turn-based. I kind of like the old style, but whatever. I'm kind of getting used to it now. So, but yeah, Sniper Elite's also pretty good. No, I was playing a little of the Horde mode. I'm not sure what the heck they call it, but that mode with Zocker.
Invasion mode.
Yeah,
or
invasion.
No,
Survival. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty good.
Are you playing that on Game Pass by any chance?
Yes, I am.
You fraud. You didn't cancel it?
Of course
not. You didn't
not.
cancel Game Pass when you found out getting any first-party titles?
You're not a gamer.
I'm not a gamer.
Yeah, you're not a true gamer.
I feel like
next, the man with... I don't even know what to call that. That's not the lines. The man with the lines. Mr. JediKnightPeter, the man from down under, coming to us from Australia. Sir, tell us about yourself and what's your game of the week?
Oh, definitely Sniper Elite 5. Absolutely love that game. Miss stealth games. Love the World War II setting. Haven't been able to put that game down. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for having me back on Game Set Live. It's my second time on the show, and yeah, just love being here. Love talking gaming with you guys. Thoughts and prayers go out to Assassin Looper and Power Man. I hope they both get well soon. But yeah, can't wait to talk about the PlayStation event with you guys.
He can't catch a break. It's like the third time he's at it.
Wow.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
The whole house.
Look, I've been really lucky with COVID. I haven't got it yet. So, but I have heard that it's really dependent on, yourself, on whether it hits you hard or not. And it seems like he's got it pretty bad. So I hope he gets well soon, mate.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill, but we will do our best.
And next, my brother from another mother, a man from the channel that I cut my teeth with, Mr. FABIO, the Brazilian monster. That's right. I said it.
We don't like you.
No,
just
I'm
kidding.
sure there's a lot of trash talk behind the scenes.
No,
Everybody.
not at all. Just kidding, mate. I just couldn't resist. Glad to be here. Like, this is my first time ever after a long time without recording, without being part of any streams, because there's just too much work and things going on right now, and because of that I wasn't able to play nothing except for yesterday. I played a little bit of NBA 2K22 because the finals of the NBA have just started.
Yeah, and you're pulling for
Celtics.
if you had said the Warriors, I was going to kick
No,
you out of the
no,
stream.
no. I refuse to root for the Warriors. It's every fucking time they are in the finals. So, like, fuck off.
And I have no
I'm just
beef
tired.
with the Warriors. It's just, it's like the Cowboys in the '90s or the
Patriots.
the Patriots in the new millennium. I'm just sick of seeing the same team win. Just please, you can get there, but then make it a good game and lose. That's all I'm asking.
Let's all forget the last 1,000 years that the Celtics just won and formed the dynasty. But okay, no worries.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like, no
I'm
worries.
from
let's go.
Boston, so you know.
There we go. We still haven't got a Larry Bird to this day, but yeah.
And next on our list, another late arrival, and gracias, sir, for agreeing to come on with such short notice. Animated Evil.
Yeah.
Personally, myself, I don't know a lot about you. Where you from, bro?
So, I do a little bit of this and that, and I do produce stuff on YouTube and Twitch and things like that. I'm part of 4GQ TV, so yeah, all good. I am so happy to be here, and do you know what? When the call come out and you said you needed someone come on, I said, do you know what? Let's get on there because you know, KY Bob, I've been following you for a bit, seen you around, and I thought, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So here I am. Last minute. Okay, we're okay. So we're good.
Well, I really appreciate it. What have you been playing this week? Are you on that Sniper Elite train?
No, I have not played Sniper Elite yet. However, I have been playing a game called Euden Chronicle Rising, which I have to say is absolutely bloody amazing, right? It really is such a fun game. I've done it on Twitch. I've done it on it's out on YouTube and everything. Euden Chronicle Rising is a surprise to me, really. It's came from a game that was originally released in Kickstarter, and they've gone, this is the game we want to make. However, let's make this game first before you see the game you see in Kickstarter. It's really weird. But if you've not played it, I say play it. It's Did any of you ever play the game called Dust, where it was a very Japanesey type game where you ran around and it was a case of just attacking people, and the combat was so good. Dust was a 360 title, and this game melds the game of Dust plus with the sort of feeling of the old Final Fantasies. It's a really good game. So I've been playing that this week. It's only around about 12 hours to finish it, something like that. I'm not so far into it. But other than that, yeah, I've been playing what I've been playing today, Far Cry 6 as well. So other than that, yeah, all good.
Awesome. And for those new to the channel, share it out, tell a buddy or two, and if you don't mind, subscribe. It does help the channel out a lot. So, first topic.
There we go.
First topic. First, when Starfield and Redfall, when they got delayed, there was a lot of knee-jerk reactions. Game Pass, people saying they were going to cancel it, when apparently they only played one game on it. And no first-party games 2022. That's all I heard. But you forget about the games that you get that aren't first-party games, that open day and date. And I'll be damned if just 2 weeks after the announcement of the delay of the first-party games, we get Sniper Elite 5 in the service, day and date, and I didn't have to pay anything for it because I already have Game Pass. And who knows what we're going to get for the rest of the year? There's no telling. I mean, it's wide open. We could get 4 more day-and-date releases of AAA games. So, yeah, I'll pay that $5 extra for Game Pass on top of my Xbox Live Gold membership for free games.
I mean, I'm guessing pretty much everyone transferred over that 3 years of gold to Game Pass anyway. So, yeah. But look, I mean, I agree, KY. This is ridiculous. It was a very knee-jerk reaction by a lot of people to cancel their Game Pass subscription. And you know what? They're missing out on Sniper Elite 5. So, yeah, that game is amazing.
I gotta be honest. I think most of them didn't cancel their subscription. I think they are just being assholes and saying, "Oh, I am canceling my subscription because I don't like Xbox." Like, but they actually are having.
Fabio, the man to call a spade a spade.
I don't know. Like, we know that most of the time these guys are lying. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, Fabio. I think a lot of them just jumped on the negative Xbox bandwagon. They haven't had a lot to talk about.
As always.
So, yeah, exactly. So,
let's be fair, right? Let's be fair. Nobody cancelled their subscription, right? Because if
I did.
If
twice actually. No, just kidding.
Thank you, Fabio. Just put me off a thread there, right? Right. Okay. So you've got to ask yourself, right? If two delays that were coming in 9 months? They were coming in 9 months' time, right? If those 2 delays caused you to delete your subscription, why would they subscribe anywhere? Let's be fair. Why would they subscribe at that point? Because there's a game coming out in 9 months. They subscribe for the things they've got, right? It's not about what's coming. It's never about what's coming. It's about, what you've got right now, right? If they were serious, whoever said I'm unsubscribing said, do you know what? Starfield's not coming anymore. I'm not subscribing. You would have waited to subscribe until Starfield landed. So what the fuck are you talking about? Seriously, you wouldn't have been subscribed because you were waiting for that game. So subscribe when that game launches.
Oh my God, Finbar has just the best comments.
It was all about clicks, and clicks. That's all that was about. Let's be honest. Let's be fair.
Don't forget, the one that started this was a journalist, and they're all about the clicks.
Wait a second, wasn't it Kotaku? Like, why the fuck are we taking Kotaku into consideration? Like,
because it means something one day and then it doesn't the next, but then all of a sudden it's really important again, so everybody flock to it. Yeah, that's how it goes.
By the way, children, have you been blocked by Jason Schreier today?
No. If you are only
put that on your check.
If you are waiting for Star to come out, right? Why would you be subscribed now? You would be subscribed when Starfield.
Yeah, you're breaking up for me. Is that happening?
Yeah, to me too.
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
Yeah, you're breaking up, brother.
Sense.
Yeah,
breaking up.
Really?
Animated, evil.
I'd like.
He started speaking too many facts.
Because he's.
It's Kotaku.
Go.
They are canceling his internet.
Yeah, right. He's being attacked.
They're just destroying him. Like,
DOS attack.
Yeah.
he's talking too much.
Talking.
He's talking too much facts. We need to hide the truth. Quick.
Look at all those beautiful beards, mate.
Quick, bring down his internet. People can never know.
I had one, but I had to get rid of it because I didn't want to wear a beard net in the distillery.
There's always going to be a potato internet member in the in the panelists. Yeah,
All right, so while he's sorting that out, I guess I can
Yeah.
give you my take. Look, Game Pass, they do an awesome thing of putting out like one big game every month or so. And that seems to happen, right? We had launch day of Rainbow Six Extraction in January, and what did we get in February? Can't even remember. I'm sure there's something, but we've had like those, game Sniper Elite is one of them. MLB The Show, there's always something coming, right? So, I think that they'll obviously have something, going forward. I'm assuming in June we're gonna get Requiem, Plague Tale Requiem,
and
then
we're also getting Assassin's Creed Origins, which is a great game. And and Chorus as well. Chorus was one of the first games they showed, wasn't it, Hargeet? And I thought it was going to be Game Pass day and date, but
it wasn't.
We finally get to play it in June. Yes, so there's so much to look forward to.
But even just the people are like, well, I want day and date games, right? I want those like triple. So fine. They try to drop at least one a month. It may be third party, maybe their own, but they at least try to get you something, right? So it's kind of bogus to think that it's that you're not getting anything. There's plenty of stuff coming out. There's obviously a lot of indie titles that come out. They have announcements like every 2 weeks, and they drop like 7 to 8 games like every 2 weeks. Like, how many games do you need, right? I mean, my backlog is so ridiculously large right now. I don't think it's even possible to play all those games, right? And if people really think they don't have anything to play, I don't know what you're doing. You're not a gamer, or you just have this very niche amount of games you like for some reason. But like, there's so many things to try. Even just try something for an hour you're playing, right? Just try it, right? What the heck?
I don't necessarily think that if you are only there for 1 or 2 games, you are not a gamer. I think the problem is like, okay, have your opinion and keep it that way, but don't just brag by saying that to me now that Game Pass is useless and has no value and no point to continue subscribing to it. Like,
that's fair. Everybody who plays
sense.
is a gamer. That's fair enough, right? But if you just play games, just play games. Just instead of I only want to play, well, probably wasn't Redfall. I'm sure it's Starfield, right? Okay, that's cool. I was very much looking forward to that. It got delayed. Okay, it's not canceled.
There's
It's
a lot
coming.
of people there's
Right.
a lot of people that say that that buys a console, a PS4, an Xbox to play Call of Duty or FIFA. And that's okay.
Exactly. That's
But
totally fine. Exactly.
just don't brag by saying that those people are not, they cannot be considered gamers because they only play
Nope,
one
100%.
thing. Like,
I know
for
quite a
fuck's
few
sake.
like that. That's fine. It's totally fine. I'm happy with somebody playing on iOS. They're playing.
Yeah, look, we don't know what Xbox is going to drop after the showcase. I would dare say that that the June list will increase once the showcase hits. Although, look, like I said before, I think June's looking pretty good as it is with Assassin's Creed Origins, Chorus, and Thimba said that he just downloaded all of Ninja Gaiden Collection, which dropped today, I think, as well. Interested to see if that game is as hard as I remember it being. I remember it kicking my ass originally when I played that game. It's what got me into the Dark Souls games. So really looking forward to jumping back into that as well.
Just one thing that I need to check. Animated
Risky said
Evil,
I need
you're
to
back
lift
with
the
us.
I didn't realize I left, to be fair.
There we go. He's back.
Yeah, I did not realize I left. Yeah.
Kotaku cancel your internet. You were saying too much facts.
Yeah. Maybe the sniper in the background maybe took me out. Yeah. Okay. I'm back.
God.
Is that video better, fellas?
Which video? The gameplay footage?
Yes.
It's a bit choppy, mate, but they're all busy looking at your beards anyway, so it's all good, bro.
I love it. Well, so today, does anybody know that
No.
Sony had a third.
Yes, I do know because
Starting with
watching.
fire.
I started to watch it and with my buddies at the XPL Party podcast, and in the middle of the thing, at the beginning of it, my house just got blacked out, and I had no lights and no internet, and I wasn't able to return. I'm so pissed right now. I wasn't able to return, and I just lost everything. For fuck's sake!
So you haven't seen it, all of it.
I just watched the Resident Evil 4 announcement, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right at the start, mate. That is right at the start. Look, honestly,
I just
in all
love Brazil
serious,
so
what did
much.
you guys think about it? I thought it was okay. A lot of it was third party. A lot of it's coming to Xbox, which is exciting for us. You know, I'm more of an Xbox gamer than I am a PlayStation gamer. So a lot of the games that were showed are actually coming to Xbox. Resident Evil 4, Callisto Protocol,
Yep.
Street Fighter.
So a lot of the big games are coming to Xbox. In saying that, I thought it was a good show. There was some, and then there's some stuff coming out, you know, in the near future. Stray got a release date, July 19th, and it's coming to PS Plus Premium and Deluxe. So that's a pretty good pickup. It's a third party, day and date, coming into their streaming service. They're coming into their subscription service. I think they needed to put that more out there and, you know, give people a reason to join up. I think like Xbox did it really well when they, you know, last E3 when they had coming to Game Pass day one and every game coming to Game Pass day one. And I think there was a couple of misses. Like I think they should have done the same thing for, say, Tunic, Roller Drone, you know, these smaller games that could have really just dropped straight into that subscription service and boosted it and elevated the show, and showed a little bit of value to the PlayStation Plus Deluxe and Premium levels. Callisto Protocol, I did a Keep This on Your Radar on Xbox Infinite, our podcast that I do with Infinite Umbra and Risk It for the Biscuit and Doom Cutie. So I've been looking forward to that game for a while. From the director of Dead Space, looks very similar to Dead Space, and it's got a release date, so December 2nd. So this year, really looking forward to that game. Yeah, like I said, in the vein of Dead Space, it's very interesting that they're going to be releasing at similar times. Callisto Protocol in December and Dead Space in January. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up against each other.
I did notice something during the show. There were a couple of titles where they mentioned that they would be they were third party, but mentioned that they would be day and date in PlayStation Plus, which I don't remember many games ever before being day and date, third party, first party, or whatnot. Maybe that's a sign of things to come, hopefully.
They've done it before, right? So like Oddworld, that came out day and date in PS Plus. They've done a few here and there, like probably like one or two a year. They actually do launch a game into PS Plus. Now this is their next year, right? The Spartacus, the PS Now plus PS Plus thing.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
so they have the extra and a premium or whatever the levels are.
So Essentials, Premium, Deluxe.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's stupid naming, isn't it?
As far as other games, I think that was the only one I remember hearing. Were there others that were launching?
No, that was it, and that's what I said was a bit of a misstep. I think they could have put Roller Drome in there, another small thing made by Roller Drome looked good. It was that roller skating game with shooting involved, and it's made by the guys that made Ollie Ollie, and so they have a little bit of pedigree. That Ollie Ollie is quite a good game, so that game looked really good to me.
And if you don't like cell shading, don't look into it. Because it is cell shaded.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. Tunic drops on my birthday, September 27th, a game that came to Game Pass day and date, so I'm glad PlayStation players get to play it. Yeah. I know you've played it quite a bit, Hargeet, and it's a really fun game, isn't it?
About halfway through,
yeah. And
it's an interesting game to go to after Elden Ring. Because they're both really challenging, right? So.
Yeah. I think Boba made a really good point in the chat. He says, why does Sony feel the need to mislead and act like some games are exclusive? And they
To be
did.
fair, everybody does that. You're not going to see in like the Xbox showcase, hey, this multi-plat game. They're not going to put a PS5 logo.
But I
Let's just
think
be fair, that happens.
we all know the answer. Like Sony has always been
Attach,
the
right?
type of they've always been the type of company that where they always brag about saying that the focus is only on the PlayStation console. So we are going to
Yeah.
say that this is going to be forever and ever only on the PlayStation console. And when they say that this game is going to be only available on PS5 and after that gets released on PS4 is because they wanted to get those pre-order numbers. When they say that this is going to be available only on PS5 and after that it's released on PC is because they want to try to cash most money possible as possible in those
For their
console
games.
sales, and that's it. That's the way they work. That's the way they go, and
Yeah.
that's the way they got all the recognition and big success the last generation.
But I don't think they misled anyone within that entire show.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah,
Let's be fair. Let's be
Okay.
fair. They have not misled anyone in that entire show because at not one point have they said this is exclusive. They have not done that. Okay, maybe they have the advertising rights to this game, that game, whatever, but at no point did they say it's only on
Yeah.
PS4, PS5. No point. That and that was my takeaway from the show really because nothing they said was that big announcement we all want to listen to is exclusive. That never happened, right? That never happened.
Yep.
So
Jedi keeps
Oh, guys, am I
dropping here.
back?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
they never said that. So
Yeah.
when you say that they're saying that it's to them, it's this is where it is. Okay, fair enough. Maybe they have advertising rights. They've got advertising rights for a lot of other games as well,
Yep.
and which is going to come out, Modern Warfare, that kind of thing. That's going to be it's best on PlayStation. They've never said that.
So
I've
why
seen-
wouldn't
I-
they
I've-
showed
I-
Modern
I've-
Warfare 2 today? Like,
I've seen-
what was stopping them?
I've seen that in the past though, right?
Yeah.
Best on PlayStation, but we've never seen that today. We've not. What would stop them from doing Modern Warfare today? Because they've got something else in the works.
You think they've got a bigger show than what they had in today?
Yeah, this was all about third party and the VR. This is what it was about.
And
Well,
Modern Warfare
Modern
would be
Warfare
third
is
party,
third party.
right?
Yes, the Modern Warfare is third party.
They
but
may not be ready though.
I think they're going to use it for a bigger platform, right?
Yeah.
Because what's a bigger platform than this right now? Than the
Summer
20,
Game Fest.
30,000. It's going to be at Jeff Keighley's show.
Yeah, the Game Fest.
And it's gonna be at Jeff Keighley's show, and it's gonna be Modern Warfare 2, PlayStation. That's because that's where the viewers are. That's my opinion, but
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
when I was watching, there was about 300,000 people watching it on the Sony broadcast on YouTube, and that's actually quite low, isn't it? For a PlayStation showcase, very close to E3, so not great numbers. And I'm interested to see how many people are watching the Xbox podcast live. Of course, there were other shows like IGN
But I
doing
mean-
it, GameStop doing it, but 300,000 isn't a lot. It really isn't.
But I mean, could we consider this event that we have right now a true PlayStation showcase because it was third party focus?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
No, they had the
Fabio,
Spider-Man
regardless
stuff.
if it is
This
or
is-
if it isn't, it's going to be compared to the Xbox showcase because
It
it
is.
comes at the E3 time.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But
enough.
maybe there will be announcements at Game Fest because they are a partner, right, of
Yes.
the Keighley show, and so there's probably they have something big, right? So we probably will get something there, and so that would be the totality of what they show before the Xbox showcase.
Mhm.
So anyway, so what I thought about this was first, all those games that they advertised that they have advertising rights for, marketing rights for, they're not coming to Game Pass, right? That's going to be a thing, right? So you can expect that none of those will come to Game Pass, at least on day one. They're not going to come to Game Pass.
Probably.
I think, look, they're launching their subscription service like right around June 12th, 13, whatever, right around the Xbox showcase, right? And this was an opportunity to say, here are a bunch of reasons you should go subscribe, right? Now, granted, there's like a list of games they've shown, and it's a pretty good library of games, right? But you want to have more day and dates than just the one, right? It would have been nice to say, hey, we have these 4 games coming in. They're all indie titles, but hey, whatever. They're coming in day and date. Like that would have been a killer thing to bring in since you're launching a service. Right. I think it was a missed opportunity. I think that Jedi was what you were saying. It's a missed opportunity to exemplify a new service. You're putting out a new service. And what are you expecting people to go after if you're not going to tell them, hey, I'm going to get all these things. I can subscribe for a couple of months, go play all the games that I don't already have, because a lot of people who are on PlayStation already have all those games, right? And then you say, well, okay, what's going to keep me here? If you're not going to give me day and date games, what am I going to get, right? This was their opportunity.
How big of an impact would it have been? Street Fighter 6 or even Final Fantasy 16.
Why not? Right?
Day and date.
Write the check. Why not? Right? It's coming to Xbox. Put it in your subscription service. Hey, you don't have to pay $60, $70 here. You have to pay $60, $70 on Xbox.
And then even because even if it is third party, there's that differential, between Xbox and PlayStation. You don't have to pay for it.
Like, hopefully become the norm. Like going forward, it's the exclusivity period thing will go away, and it'll just be our exclusive is it's on our subscription. Play it on our platform in our sub, right?
I think PlayStation's focus on their subscription service is going to be once they see the results of the Bungie acquisition. Once we get the results of that acquisition, the game that they released, and the results in sales and subscriptions that they
why
get.
Would they wait that long? And if they were going to wait that long, why would they announce the PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now merger so early?
Because
the Bungie deal will take a while to go through. Unfortunately, that's just the way of the world.
End of year best.
But like it's. In my opinion, that's only my opinion, and I can be completely wrong about this. Is because they are stubborn in their ways, and they just did. So they just announced their subscription service because everyone else was saying you gotta compete with Game Pass. You gotta compete with Game Pass, otherwise you're not gonna be ahead in the sales and all that kind of crap. And before they were resistant, they were being stubborn by saying nobody's going to be interested in subscription service like. Our games are not going to have any success, and neither the quality if they are in a subscription service. And what happened? Because they are stubborn in their old ways.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's fair enough for their first-party games. I don't mind that, but I do think they need killer apps to promote their service, and that if that's not going to come through first-party because they've ruled that out, then let it come through third-party. They pay for exclusivity deals as it is. How much more money would they have to pay for it to drop into their subscription service day and date that could really boost their numbers? It's proven to work on Xbox's side of things. It's not a risk anymore. Xbox has shown that it's not a risk and it can be quite successful. So Xbox has taken all these risks. They've proven it time and time again.
So how did we feel about? How did we feel about? I felt a lot of emphasis on PSVR 2, and I don't know if anybody else sees this coming, but the specs of the PSVR 2 put it above and beyond most of what's on the market, and we're talking about something that's going to cost the consumer more than they paid for the damn console.
I doubt they would do that, but yeah.
We're still seeing a chip shortage, silicon shortage.
Yeah.
PlayStation are pretty smart with their pricing. They were smart with the PSVR 1 pricing. I can't see them charging that much. I'd say it'd be around the $400 mark at its highest level. I can't
think
see
it'll
it
be
being any
5.
more than that.
I
Yeah,
think it'll be 5.
that's very expensive. Wow.
It is, but that was what the old one was too, right? So PSVR 1 was $500. Granted, it came with the controllers, right? And I don't know if they need
Yes,
those things,
that's
and I
true.
assume they need those controllers. So, so you know the PSVR itself was 4, but then you had a bundle kit with all the extra stuff that came with it for another 100. So, I think it's gonna be 5.
There's been a bit of speculation that it will also be able to be used on PC. Do you think that is just
It will,
out of the realms
100%.
of possibility? It will
No,
be
100%. Because the thing is all you need is drivers. It's just a peripheral that attaches via USB, right? So there's
Well-
nothing stopping you from making that happen, right? So
that
once you
makes
have
it
you
a
can have
lot
it.
more attractive to me.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody will write the drivers to make it work. It's
Yep.
yeah, it'll definitely work on PC.
The thing is,
Yeah.
the thing is with PSVR. Okay, so I've only just got into VR. Okay, I use the Oculus, right? But I do have a friend who is a complete casual gamer, right? And he's been saying to me for months and months and months and months, PSVR is amazing. PSVR is amazing. He's looking forward to. He's got a PS5. He's looking forward to PSVR 2, and he's telling me constantly, "Oh, PSVR 2 is going to be amazing." So they do cater to the casual market because this guy who I talk to doesn't even know there's other options available. He's a PS fan, okay? He does everything PS, right? He's a PlayStation guy. He does everything PlayStation, and he's like, "Oh, VR's the thing. VR's the thing. VR's the thing." And do you know what? Those type of people are going to buy the version 2 of the VR. They're going
Did
to
he
buy
buy the V1?
He has PS4, he has PS5, he has the whatever the VR is on PlayStation.
PS4, yeah.
PS4, yes, he loves
Yeah.
it, and he keeps telling me, dude, PSVR is coming soon. It's fine.
Holy
And
shit!
He
All
is.
right, what is that?
What's
Yeah,
going
KY,
on?
what are you doing?
Wait a
Who
second,
knows?
Evil.
Who
So
knows?
sorry
I've
about
got
that.
an animal in a bag.
Are you
Ah.
killing anyone? Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm not. No one's getting murdered. It's fine. So
Just
what
an
I'm
animal.
saying,
Just an animal.
what I'm saying is, right? This guy is the casual market. He really is, and he's going. It's okay. The new VR's coming. The new VR's coming, and
I
there's
don't know if I
people
buy
like
it.
there's people like that I know that are just gonna suck it in and buy it, even if it's even not even modified or whatever. PSVR 2, I'm sure it's gonna be good. And
So-
you know what? It's gonna be a massive seller. It really is.
It
because
won't. It won't. Because PSVR 1 didn't sell that well. It's maybe you're going to get 5% of the install base to buy it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's actually pretty good for a peripheral like that. But it ain't no Kinect. Kinect was the biggest accessory ever, right?
Yes,
And it's
agreed.
not going to come close to that. But look, the people that are like that just want everything, you know, Sony does, great, good for them. That is not everybody. Like casual gamer is, we already mentioned it. It's FIFA, it's Madden, it's Call of Duty, it's
Yeah.
Fortnite.
no, but this
That's
is
what
the
they
thing.
play.
Jesse B
Apex.
just
But
made a
this-
really
this
good
is the
point.
thing,
He said
this
there
is
was
the
a
thing.
1%
This-
attachment rate for
this
PSVR
guy-
1. That's
Yeah.
not good.
This
Yeah.
guy I'm referring to is the casual gamer. He doesn't.
Hey, it's
do-
risky.
He doesn't listen to all the things we talk
Leave,
about.
leave,
He
leave
doesn't.
Evil.
I hate all of you. You're all on camera.
Yes, and we all have beards.
We all have kids. We all have kids.
And Jedi has a green.
Stroke your beards, gentlemen. Stroke your beards.
So I
Look
I
at my
do
beautiful Jay.
I do consider this guy to be a casual gamer. I really do. And he's like, I want this new VR.
Well, it's an interesting question. Would a casual gamer be a fan of one platform over the other. I would say no. I think if you're a
Well,
casual gamer,
nah.
you don't care. You just
Yeah.
want to get your gaming fix wherever you get your gaming fix.
that's
That's a point. That's a point.
because
However,
to me, a casual gamer is drawn to the platform that all of his friends play on. And
Exactly.
All of his friends constantly talk.
That's
Exactly.
the point.
Exactly, but they won't care that. Oh no, I only play on this. I don't think they care. They just want to play.
I think the only thing there, I think the one of the other facts is that what if their favorite game, the one that they always buy it every year, gets exclusive to one specific platform? What will happen if when the day comes and FIFA becomes exclusive or something like that?
Oh my goodness, that would be horrible. I don't think that's a good
Imagine,
idea.
imagine how crazy would that be?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if that happens, that obviously that platform becomes the place they go to, right? I mean, I think Xbox has done an awesome job in trying to promote their ecosystem as
Yep.
the place to be for casual gamers. They're going to own Call of Duty. They have all the free-to-play games. They have the EA Play in their Ultimate Tier and the PC Game Pass. So that if you want to play any of those FIFA's, Madden's, they're all there. You just play it. Right, it's
Yep.
all in the bundle. Like, get your Game Pass, you're good to go. Right, whether you play PC, whether you play Xbox, they're covering you. So they've kind of made themselves into that box that really is for that casual gamer. Like 3-4 years from now, when every Call of Duty that comes out has a big ass Xbox logo on it, because it will, right? It's just going to become synonymous. Like, this is the box you want to be on for that kind of stuff. Even if it
This is
still
what
comes
you
to
use.
Same thing
Mr.
happened with
Biscuit.
PS4 and Call of Duty, didn't it? And a lot of people thought Destiny 2 was exclusive.
Yeah.
PlayStation, I mean, as much as we hate it, they're absolutely great at doing that.
Yeah, they are.
welcome,
And now they're
Brisket,
going to
to
own
the show.
Destiny. So
Another beer to add to everyone else.
Yeah, good night. Just messing around in the background, sorting everything out. How you going, guys?
Hey,
good.
what's up, Brisket?
What are we talking about? Someone cancelling their Game Pass again?
No, we're
yeah.
going over the show, the Sony show.
Yes.
Oh, the
So
Sony
at the
show.
moment, we're talking about PSVR
Yeah,
2,
you
mate.
watched that, didn't you?
That was so exciting.
What?
I'm so
I loved
excited.
it. I loved every second of it.
It's exciting for Xbox gamers because it was all third party. So I was like, "Woo, let's do
Yeah.
this."
They
I
opened the
don't
show with my
understand
favorite
about
Resident
it.
Paying
Evil.
6,000 Brazilian real for the PS console. How much? That sounds incredibly expensive.
5,000 Brazilian
He
reais.
said 6,000. I don't know what that converts to. That sounds incredibly
It
expensive.
depends. Sometimes it's 5,000. Other times it's 6,000. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Damn.
And for
That's
those who
chump
don't
change.
know, Risket
Ah,
for the
fuck.
Biscuit was DMing me while he was driving the kids around, telling me I need to get closer to my mic and lick it. I don't want to lick my mic, but I'll rub it for you. Is this good
Oh
enough?
god.
Okay, that's way
No.
too much.
Oh, wow.
That's way too specific. That's way too specific. Okay, okay.
I never said that. It's lies.
Lies, I tell you.
Show us the
Scared
play.
away animated evil.
Oh my god.
Resident Evil looked cool, man. I was pretty excited for that. I hope they take Resident Evil when they do that remake. I was never a fan of it changing its style to more action. I wanted to go back to what they did with RE3 and RE2.
Ah, but
Maybe-
gotta,
RE2 definitely. RE3 was definitely more action focused, but RE2 is. I just played that recently. The remake is that's how you do a remake, and that's
Yeah,
how you do a
gold
remake
standard.
well. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
It's a gold standard of remakes. Like anyone doing a remake, that's what you want to aim for. And I think that did set the bar. So hopefully now that they've set the bar, they stick to their own bar.
And yeah, look, it looks like it started a trend in remakes. It showed that they can be really successful, and we see Dead Space coming up. We've got a Coda remake, so it's really changed the market, and I think in a good way. I think a lot of people haven't experienced these games like we have. The new age of gamers. So I'm looking forward to see what they all think about it, because I think these games really made gaming what it is today.
Mhm.
So going back to KY's thing originally, like, how many people here want to buy the PSVR 2?
Oh, I have no interest whatsoever.
No.
I have
yeah,
an
I'll go get it.
Oculus. I'm not interested.
I'll get it.
So risk it. You're the
Yeah,
only one.
I'll definitely be getting it. Yeah, man. I mean, especially if you listen to your Game on Daily brethren, Asa, it's really exciting what they're doing. I can't remember the name of it. It's really technical. I think it's called the What's My Hoover, My Bobby, My Goober. The thing that follows your eyes that stops that sickness. That motion sickness that people get, that to me was pretty exciting because that's there's also, aside from just motion sickness, there's a lot you can do mechanics wise. There's a lot you can do story wise. There's a lot that can be done with that kind of technology. So to me, that's pretty exciting. Maybe not initially, like early on in the piece, as with any generation of any kind of hardware. It's always you're gonna have to wait a couple of years before it really starts to shine. But I think it's a pretty exciting piece of technology, and I'm definitely going to get it.
Did you get
even if it
PSVR
costs
1?
$3,000. Sorry, no.
You're not okay. Did you try any of them, like Oculus or HTC Vive or anything?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And
I hate to break it to you, you're going to be disappointed.
Oh.
You just crush his dreams. Like,
try it. No, seriously, you should try it. But like, I went into it open. I've tried Oculus. I've tried PSVR, and what I found is like the control scheme is so weird that I just don't like it. It just doesn't feel right. And then having this thing in front of me was just annoying. So I could only do short bursts of it, and then I'm like, get this thing off my head.
Well, what about the treadmill, the omnidirectional Ready Player One treadmill?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but again, it's the same. Like, I don't know. How interactive do you want to be, and how much do you really want to work out while you're playing?
Well, I need it, so you can't see my belly, but it's sizable. I'm hiding it under the desk.
I've got a sizable belly too, but it's not like I want to just relax and play. I don't know. So it's an interesting
I
thing.
agree.
But...
I agree. Look, one thing that I will say is the big problem with PSVR 1 was the size of the games. They were 45 minutes, and you're paying a lot for that 45 minutes. Supposedly what we've seen is we're actually getting full games. So the Horizon game that they showed, it looks like it's going to be more of a full-size game. The Resident Evil game looks like it's going to be more of a full-size game. So the value proposition is a lot better, I think. In terms of what you're getting, but look, it's still a big wait and see for me.
Yeah, but it is cool. At least somebody wants to try it. So at least that, and kind of given this, you got 1 out of 6.
Enough to try
right?
it, but okay.
Well, that's what it is. That's what PSVR 2, PSVR or any VR has been. And then people will argue with this. I know Asa would argue with this, that it's niche. It is niche. It's a niche thing.
Is.
So
it is.
Just like
makes
in
me more
Xbox
special than all of you.
The thing is, you got to remember, right? Okay. The thing is, you got to remember is that it could be the next big thing. So they are investing in. It could be the next big thing. I do have a Oculus, and playing games in VR is, if you can handle it, amazing. It really is. It's absolutely fucking. It's weird. It's strange. Although I have never felt anything so connected before. Like I play a golf game on VR, and my word, it just feels like I'm there. It is hopefully the next big thing, and hopefully it's gonna take off, and that's what PlayStation are trying to do. Is this is our VR. It's gonna be the next big thing.
I mean,
and that's where they're going with it. Yeah,
so
that's where they're going with it.
Yeah.
When Phil Spencer first said that that when the market took it in that direction, then Xbox would have a VR, and we still don't. I mean, I wasn't disappointed, but I would have still liked to have had some sort of an option. and we didn't get that option because yes, it's kind of a niche area of gaming. VR is, but you have to have some way to introduce people to that don't have the bank to go out or don't have the ability to go out and use an Oculus.
Yep.
And luckily, I had a brother-in-law that had one on a Thanksgiving or an Easter. It was some family function, and we all came in, and I see my mother-in-law flailing her arms while she's playing Beat Saber. I'm like, what the hell is this woman doing? And I tried it. And I couldn't stop. So everybody needs to have that ability, and Xbox should have had some sort of option, at least like. So, okay, I understand. So PlayStation wants to make their own. Okay. Well, we're talking about Xbox. We're talking about Microsoft. Why can't, your Oculus works with your unless it's the standalone. The Oculus that I have to plug up to my PC. So why not make it compatible with something like that?
So
Go. Whoever, go.
Okay, like
fine.
I don't know. That's me, but I think maybe Microsoft is not investing in this because they are just a tiny bit traumatized by the last Kinect.
Yeah,
just a
That's
tiny
because they
Part of it is
forced
that.
it on people.
No.
When they didn't force
No.
Kinect on people, they sold
yeah.
so many Kinects.
So
Yeah,
Well,
they didn't.
Microsoft's also
people,
got HoloLens as well.
yeah.
The AR.
So,
Yeah.
so let me
I'm
do this. Okay,
I'm
go ahead,
going to take over. Unfortunately, right?
Are you going to
Now,
offend anyone?
Let's be honest, right? The Kinect.
If you don't offend anyone, I'm not going to listen.
It's okay.
You
It's
better
okay.
offend someone here.
So let's be honest, right? The Kinect was a voice-controlled device for your Xbox, right? Voice-controlled. So you could say Xbox on and your Xbox would turn on, right? Microsoft have this thing of this is just my idea that they see what should happen and then you just go, nah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. No. Right? So we had the Kinect, right, on our Xbox, and we said, Xbox on, we talked to it, right? 2 years later, what have we got? Fucking Alexa.
Google Nest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking
They're
Alexa.
ahead of their time.
Right? However, at the point, Microsoft have gone, no, that's not going to work.
Well,
Nah.
there's some.
We have 2 years later, we've got Alexa. We had that technology 2 years before Alexa come out. It's fine. We had it. With Xbox turn on, Xbox turn off, Xbox do this, Xbox do that.
Yeah.
Voice control. And they went, nah, that's not going to...
I still say that to my Xbox, even though it doesn't have a Kinect.
Do you know what? That's not going to work. That is... that voice thing is not going to work. 2 years later, you've got fucking Alexa, which is taking over every one of our lives, right?
But to be fair, though, think of where Xbox was at that point, though, right? They bundled in the Kinect, and a lot of customers walked away from Xbox.
Exactly.
Right? And the Xbox division was about to be shut down, right? So they're not going to now invest in a personal digital assistant at that point.
Absolutely.
I know
it did happen, but it happened because of the mobile phone.
Like
when they went to Windows Phone.
Like we do know that they did sell a lot of Kinects in that period, but they only did sell those because people were forced to actually buy a Kinect.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Does anyone have the figures for that though? Because from what I've read, and this is not based on figures, this is just based on my shit ass memory. But from what I've read, the figures over and above what they were forced to buy were like extremely promising. We're good. And
well, there was some good games.
And you have to remember they started selling the Kinect with the 360 with the 360
It was
area.
it was the
and when
highest selling profile.
yeah, and it was the highest selling peripheral before they started to bundle it. They bundled it because it did so well.
Yes.
But
Was,
Xbox has
they
got
went too far.
a really bad
like-
history of making poor marketing decisions. Like,
like
and
that.
we know that's true.
And we
You know,
do
Those
so-
got
party games that came with Connect were great games. They were great
Like-
games to sit and play with
like
your
we-
family. And
Especially Pornhub. Pornhub was great.
No, sorry, that's on PlayStation.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
like
that's the
like-
VR. Sorry. PSVR.
Right, VR.
Christ.
So,
Wow.
like KYT, you're
Wow.
something, right?
Wow, where are we going? What is this? Gaming Beyond the Box? What the fuck's going on right now?
Gaming
No,
with the box.
apparently, statistically, the top viewer of Pornhub is the PlayStation. I don't know how that is, but whatever, it is what it is. So
Sure, yeah.
back to your question, KY, I would ask you this, okay? Like, let's say you're Phil Spencer and you have to choose between the Series S and doing VR. Which one do you
Yeah.
choose?
well said.
Because it's an investment, no matter how you cut it. It's an
Okay.
investment. It's a hardware investment. It's an ecosystem investment. You have to do that work, right? So if you had to choose Series S or Xbox VR, which one do you choose?
So hang on, can
And
I
to me,
can I
that
ask you a
answer's
question,
obvious.
Hargeet, based on
What
your
was it?
question? So what you're saying is, do you invest in tech that could be the future, or do you invest in tech that's going to hold back gaming?
Well, right. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
An interesting way to
It
put
was
it.
a-
Yes.
When you
Yes,
put it
I get
like
what you're
that, so like
Yeah, right.
it does.
But so what do you guys think? Like, what would you, if
So-
you were Phil and you had those two packages, which one would you choose?
Okay, so I'm gonna take your question. I'm gonna kind of stretch it out a little bit. Smush it flat like putty. And
Oh Jesus! Here we
I'm
go.
gonna turn it into a bigger picture. So we're not talking about with Connect. Okay, at the time, Connect was groundbreaking. Nobody else was doing Connect.
Yep.
Wii was doing the Wiimote, and of course you had a little sensor bar that read the IR signal off the front of the Wiimotes, and it read the orientation and the velocity at which you move the Wiimote. But at the time, nobody was doing anything like Connect. So Connect it involved a lot of R&D. When it comes to VR, the tech is there, the hardware is there, the platform
Man,
is there. So we're just talking
it's not.
about
It's not that simple, because once you're making a game for Xbox, you have to have the ecosystem understand what it means to do that. So just like it takes Connect was a technology they bought and then enhanced. I understand that it was enhanced quite a bit, but they still bought that technology and then had to import that into Xbox to make it available. So it is a platform choice, right? We still don't have better achievements. We still like all these things that we want to have. The DVR facility isn't there, right? These are all things you have to deal with, right? So he has to say, okay, what package do I want?
We just
Right.
spent $70 billion on a studio.
Well,
Yes,
why
a
can't, why
publisher.
can't we
Studios
just
are gonna be
make a
making
VR
games.
also?
Wait a
Three
second,
publishers.
I think
studio.
Xbox
Wait a
has
second,
gone in the
nice
right
studio
direction.
was
They
ju-
have focused. Oh, sorry, they've narrowed their focus to gamers. That's what the big problem with
Exactly.
Xbox One was. They went for a broader market, and look what happened. It almost bankrupted them. It almost
Yeah.
killed Xbox completely. Phil has narrowed that focus to basically gamers, and they've gone in the definite right direction. From
Risk it.
from there, they can then expand to peripherals once they have that, underlying gaming focus down pat, and then you can see them expand into VR, into Connect, into whatever else. But
And
I
think-
do
was it
think
you who
that they went in
mentioned
the
it,
right
Jedi?
direction.
The HoloLens, because understand that's their direction, right? They've seen where
Yep.
VR is. It's niche, right? If they can get
Yes.
HoloLens into a set of glasses, which is where they're aiming to get to, that will be your capability to do VR, AR. They're going to have it in one thing where it'll give you as much VR as you want, but it'll be AR. So you have everything you want
Yep.
with glasses.
I think
And that's what
HoloLens has a lot of potential. I
But-
really do. And I don't
Yeah.
think it's just in gaming as well. And we've seen Connect go off into other avenues as well, where Connect is not just used for gaming anymore. It's actually
It's not.
that
It's used in business
technology is
settings now.
used in
Yeah.
a lot of business
Yeah.
practices as well. And the
So-
same thing with HoloLens. So although
reason
it might have
why-
failed in the gaming market,
I-
it succeeded elsewhere.
I actually think there is, like Hargeet just said, there's a massive difference between VR and
And
AR.
AR. Yep.
Yep. there's a massive difference, and I actually think
Yeah, well, they're at opposite ends of
Microsoft
the alphabet.
are going AR rather than VR.
Fuck off.
VR puts
no.
you in the environment. AR puts the environment in your environment.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I agree with Hargeet. Exactly what he said. I think AR is where Microsoft are going with rather than VR.
Yep.
Well, look at the
I'm
success
going to be honest.
of Pokemon
I'm going
Go.
to be honest. It just feels right. Look at the HoloLens. Look at what they've been
That's where they
doing
are.
with the HoloLens. That's
I
what
actually
they've
have a
been
question.
pushing.
I have a question about HoloLens.
Oh my god.
So why
I'm
is it
scared.
Holo? It's HOLLOW, right? That's how it's spelled.
Holographics.
There's technically no lens there if it's Holo, right? Is that right?
It's holographics. But anyway, nice try, Riskit. Another joke.
Nice try. There you go.
So HoloLens just places, you can still see everything around you through HoloLens. It just places an overlay on what
Over
you
things,
see
yeah.
so that it makes it look like what you're seeing through the HoloLens is in your environment that
Yeah.
you are actually in.
Just
I
think
don't
you're
want
Master Chief.
Whatever it is
Right,
you
you're
want to look
Master
at.
Chief, and you have a visor that shows you stuff on top of the real world.
Right.
Right?
I
That's
don't know.
exactly it.
I don't like.
And that'll
talking
happen,
about
actually.
HoloLens.
I think that
Not at
they'll
all.
definitely do that. Sorry,
Yep.
Hargeet, because you look at Waze, you look at a lot of these things that,
Yep,
that
literally,
import
right?
in. Yeah, and they will absolutely do stuff like that.
What a-
That'll be cool.
One of the
yeah.
E3s, they actually did that demo. They actually
They
had
did.
HoloLens.
Microsoft, if you're
You did the
watching
Master
this,
Chief walk down.
Boba Fett Gaming has got a great marketing scheme right there.
Like I
Yeah,
gotta
I
say-
remember that E3 where they showed
It's
HoloLens
unfinished.
and they showed how you can watch a movie and it felt like you're actually in the cinema and the curtain opened up. And I thought it was really, really interesting. And I just said before that Pokemon Go shows how successful something in AR
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah.
If you're in your own environment, if you're in your own home, and you don't need that clumsome VR headset on that basically takes away all your other, senses. I think it'll be a lot more
Yep.
for the casuals and integrated a lot more than
But
what
would that
VR
work?
will do.
Having
I'm all
access
for
to
that. I'm
your
all for that.
peripheral vision.
I am all for that. I'm
What-
going to be
what was
honest,
it?
right?
Yeah.
I am all for that because when I'm playing something in in VR, I do feel like I'm alienated from my environment.
Yes.
Yep.
If I could just see it a little bit, just a little bit, I'd be fine. There's
Yep.
Wouldn't that break
many
the immersion?
times that I don't
And
know.
it gets rid of
The-
the motion sickness aspect of it as well.
So I can give you that. I have it.
There's many a times I've been playing in VR that I have actually banged my head on the shelf or something or whatever. It's like fuck that it. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you
And
know
we've
what?
all seen
Because
those
I couldn't
videos of
see
people
it.
destroying their TVs or
Exactly.
whatever's around them or hitting their
Well,
kid.
that's fake. Because
So
yeah.
So I can tell you
have a
what it's
safety,
like.
You have a safety ground, but
So
still.
I-
We're not
can
all
tell you-
aces.
I can
that
tell you what
have
it's
that
like.
walking treadmill thing.
Yeah, right. That Asa has. I actually did a lot of demos of it, so I've played a lot with HoloLens, and it can immerse you pretty damn well, even though you can still see the world. So they have a demo of you visiting Rome and visiting Machu Picchu, and
nice.
it's pretty extensive. So it basically it looks like you're there, but you know you're not there. You can still see all the furniture around you, right? It's still there, but it overlays whether you're in Rome or Machu Picchu, it just overlays it on top of it. It's really cool, right? So
Right.
yes, the immersion is still there, but you still can see the world, right? So you're
So
never
I
going to
don't-
run into something.
whoever it
the
was
other
that
thing-
touched on,
So there's one
Whoever
other thing
was
that I
that
wanted to
touched
point
on-
out
Go
is
ahead.
that the controller thing, right? So when you're playing with VR, you're still either holding a controller in each hand or you're using a normal controller. Well, the Kinect technology is in the HoloLens, so it can see your fingers. So it doesn't need anything else. You can wave around, you can do that, right? It'll just take it. It figures it out. So
You can
it's
do what?
using
Do that
Kinect,
again. Show me what you can do.
right? So and literally those things work. Like it'll pick those kind of
Yep.
things up, and that is your control. So you don't need to have something in your hands that you're moving around, right? It'll actually see like, hey, I want to go pick this up. You can just use your hand. I'm going to go pick it up, and it'll pick that up, right? So it actually has the Kinect stuff built into it. So it's like the best of both worlds, or all worlds. It's really cool.
The Kinect's coming back. That technology is being incorporated into Sky televisions, from what I remember. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Sky and Xbox were doing a deal to bring the Kinect back into the actual TV set built in as you buy it. So it's not a dead technology from Xbox by any means.
I think even the military is using Kinect as well. I think the military is using it as well. It's been used in a lot of different industries. Yep.
I think the only go on, Bob.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, Bob has two responses on two individuals mentioned. First off,
like the third person,
Kinect 2.0 would have done so much better if, one, it hadn't been forced on the consumer, and two, if they actually emphasized how much better Kinect 2.0 was over the first Kinect.
Yes.
There is software out there. There's software out there that using Kinect 2.0, you can actually read a person's heart rate.
Yep.
They're standing in front of the camera.
Yeah, there were exercise things that were on Xbox that did that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, and that's why it's being used in so many other venues right now. This long after 2013.
Yep.
I mean, look, let's face it, Microsoft had a really bad name and people didn't want Microsoft listening into them in their homes. Now they're quite happy to have Amazon and Google doing that. So I suppose that's taken a little bit of the scare factor out of it. It could come back. I agree. And I think we lost a lot of games as well, like Dance Dance Revolution and a lot of these other party games. Tennis game, I remember being quite fun. That could come back quite well.
Yeah.
Kinect Sports.
Kinect Sports, like
Kinect
one of the things that made me realize that the Kinect 2.0 was better than the first one was Kinect Sports Rivals, because you could actually have a pretty good recreation of your own face. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love the MMA one. That was great. I accidentally roundhoused my son once.
And I don't know who it was that touched on Pokemon Go on mobile, but have any of you all tried Minecraft Earth?
No.
I haven't, mate.
So it is Minecraft that is done through your phone in AR, and it puts the Minecraft world in your environment as you're looking at it through your phone, and that's how you interact with it.
Well, they showed Minecraft at that E3 event as well, where they were when they were showing HoloLens. That looked amazing.
And I don't think HoloLens is that incredibly expensive, is it?
It is. It's multi-thousands per unit. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll take 5 of those.
Multi-thousands? What?
Yeah. Which is why they're waiting for the consumer model. Right now, it's really enterprise focused, and they're trying to get it to the point where they can have enough compute power in a small form factor that doesn't require this massive thing around your head, and then have enough battery life to make it useful, but also be in a reasonable cost frame in that $300, $400 range, right? It's a tough thing to do, and they're not there. The technology just isn't there yet. That's why it's not in a consumer model yet.
Oh my God, I gotta sell a kidney to buy a HoloLens, because like it's $3,000. Imagine this in Brazilian reais. Like $499 is 5,000.
I have one. I own one.
So imagine $3,000.
You got to be smart about it, though. You got to be smart about it, Fabio. You got to you sell someone else's kidney, mate. You don't.
Okay, yeah. So, is anyone interested in visiting me here in Brazil? Don't mind the knife. Don't mind the knife. We should.
We go from gaming to promoting organ harvesting.
Well, that's what happens when you have this skill on the show, mate.
That's true content. That's true content.
You gotta risk it.
It's like if I come on someone else's show, I'm let off the leash, right? Because on my show, I'm like doing stuff in the background. Like I miss so many jokes. I'm like, damn it, there was one there, and I missed it.
Like You just gotta risk it for the biscuit. So yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
That's the name. That's the name. But back to your the PlayStation thing. There's a lot of I've noticed on Twitter. There's actually a lot going on Twitter last night. I've been up all night, but I noticed on Twitter that it's really being capped for hard. And I'm not saying that it was a bad state of play by any means. It was actually a really good state of play. I was pretty impressed. But it's still mostly third parties. Finding out Callisto Protocol, that's one of the ones that we had on a segment we used to have on the show called
Keep this on your radar. Yeah, I'll say that.
On your radar. And that game looks absolutely amazing. That's by the original creator of Dead Space from Visceral Games. It was an absolute shame that EA shut down that studio. It was unbelievable at the time. So that was exciting to know.
As well, within months.
Yep. I mean, that was exciting to know, Callisto Protocol. To see that the rumor of Resident Evil 4 coming, again, absolutely excited for that.
Callisto got a release date, Risket, December 2nd, mate. So, really, not that far, mate.
Yeah, it's only around the corner, so that's what was super exciting. I mean, but I think Resident Evil 4 even got a release date of March 2023. Is that wrong or right? I think it's March 2023.
I think so. I think that's
March
right.
4.
Yeah.
March
24th,
2023.
But it is still a state of play missing PlayStation's major title. The major title that everyone's waiting for, even I'm waiting for. I want it. I think that there's not many people who own a PlayStation don't want it. Like God of War Ragnarok, it's supposed to be here already, and then was delayed. And then since we've heard nothing except Corey coming out saying we've got nothing to show. That's worrisome for me. But I have heard from someone who does know. Now I've heard from a couple of people. I was kind of picking parts from a developer speaking to her. She didn't specifically say to me anything, but she did say that things were hectic there, and it sounded like chaotic. Now that's probably
no way
something
that
happens
game's coming out this year.
That's something that happens in every development studio. So I mean, you take from that what you will. And then we also heard from someone in the community way back earlier in the year that she has a direct line into Santa Monica, and that things weren't going well. So you take from that what you want as well. But then I also heard from someone who is massive and does have a finger in a lot of pies, and you all would know the person, that it's almost a guarantee that it is coming. So he said, delete tweets now, get ahead of it.
So what
having their release dates ahead of time.
What is the point you're saying there? What is something coming or something like? What is the point you're saying there, dude?
Well, I'm of the opinion that it's not coming. But someone who does know these things did say to me very recently that it is. But it's not there, and that's worrisome.
You are saying right? Let me put it down.
Definitely.
Let me put it down. You are saying God of War is not coming, right? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like it's
saying
not.
that it is coming.
I feel like it's not, but I've been told by someone who knows these things that it is. So, but we haven't seen it. We didn't see it at the show. Why aren't we seeing it in the state of play? Why when Xbox is releasing their showcase on the 12th, have they come out with a bunch of third parties? I mean, have they got a state of play for God of War ready to go for afterwards? Because if you are releasing that game, that state of play needs to happen. We're talking about a month. So it's got to happen in the next 2 months.
But that's the unknown for dropping a game pretty much, within 3 months of showing it, or 3 to 6 months. Sony aren't. That's not the way they do business. I mean, we're in June. It's 6 months they've got to release it this year, and we haven't seen gameplay. Not really. We haven't seen.
You had an interesting point, Animated, right? That basically it could be coming at Keeley's show. Right, that is a potential. We don't know that isn't what's going to happen.
They do state of play 3 months out, Pete. That's what they do. Traditionally, that's what they've been doing.
God of War 2018 was 6 weeks, I think. God of War 2018, they announced 6 weeks ahead of time.
But if you go back to Horizon and recent history, sorry, Bob, if you go back to Horizon and recent history, it's 3 months out. They usually drop 3 months out, gameplay and a deep dive. And I think they did the same thing for Ghostwire. And I think in recent history, that's just, again, me pulling shit from, all the crap that I put in here in gaming, and jubbling it all up, and I could be wrong, but I think in history it's around about 3 months. So that's why I say they need to drop that state of play in the next 2 months, because then that gives them 3 months out from God of War. Regardless, the silence and Corey Balrog, he's not Balrog, it's Balrog, but Corey Balrog coming out and saying we have nothing to show is fucking worrisome. The two things that I've heard from two different people, but then I've had one differing opinion. So now, and that person's pretty trustworthy, and I'm like, oh, is it coming? I want it, man. I'm an Xbox guy, but God of War is like, give me that game. Like, and where
and
is
that
it?
goes to what Fabio was saying. He was saying that this was their third-party state of play, and they will have another one a little bit later where they'll show their first-party games. So that does line up quite well with that, doesn't it?
So,
however, do you know what? Let's go about KY. Go. It's fine. I have something to say, but KY, go. Sorry.
So
it's your show.
I'll make it short and sweet. Animated Evil. So, to me, silence from a studio is not a bad thing. Fabio, don't. Because if you look at what we've seen from studios during development, it gets nothing but critique, and only the fanboys love it and praise it. Everybody else hates it because it's not finished.
Yep.
And if you've got a game that may make this year or may get delayed to next year, do you use any manpower whatsoever to put something together for a show? Or do you just put your head down, brass the tacks, and tunnel through so that you make a release date? So
that's a good point.
So far, silence, the last thing we heard was fall this year. If we haven't heard anything yet, then that tells me they are still hard at work. They are still heading towards their target. And yeah.
That's 3 months, KY. I can't see it dropping in fall.
But I think like the biggest problem is when companies they are doing that over and over and over and over again, and Xbox is no exception of this. Where is Everwild? What's going on with In Exile? What's going on with Compulsion Games? What the fuck is going on with Halo Infinite?
But
you know
we've
what I mean?
seen what the pandemic has done to the industry. Right now, maybe there is just no time but to focus on getting something out the door.
Well, we'll get a little bit of an idea about that when we see Xbox's showcase in a week's time.
Yeah.
But Animated was going to say something, so we'll throw back to him.
No, I'm just gonna throw it back to Rescue the Biscuit. Do you really think God of War is going to come out this very soon?
No, I don't think so, man. If you look at the evidence, like it just kind of threw me through a loop because I kind of look at history-based evidence for things, right? And then I kind of put it together in my head. And I've been wrong. I don't know, fucking, never. No, countless times. So, like, if you
Control
look at the
your
history,
thoughts, dude. Control your thoughts. Let's go.
If you look at the history of PlayStation Studios and how they manage their games and how they do their state of plays and timelines for that, you would have to say that, like I said, if God of War doesn't drop a state of play in the next 2 months, it's not coming. But from just that, you said silence, KY. You said that they've been silent. Well, they haven't, man. Corey came out and he's not working on that project. Yeah, we all know that. And everyone's like, oh, he's not working on the project. He came out front and center and he said, we have nothing to show. You're telling me that a game that's this far in development, that's supposedly dropping this year, you can't pull a vertical slice of gameplay. Like, that's not a whole lot to work on, man. All you need to do is have someone play and throw in a couple of cinematics. Like, that's not a lot of time out of your development to put something out there to the community to say, to assure everyone that, hey, this is coming. Like,
we're not talking about Xbox, who just takes a capture of somebody farting around with a game and throws it on a show. We're talking about PlayStation.
Yeah, but they've already done a vertical.
High-quality produced shit.
Yeah. So they've already done a slice of the game. They already had gameplay and gameplay trailer, as people have often pointed out. Usually the ones that clop around Twitter. But that was a long time ago. So where's the next? Like that's a concern. You've done gameplay. Something has gone wrong, in my opinion. Right. And now they can't get these bugs fixed, or they can't get the polish on the game. And now they're basically fucked. I think.
So
See, you still haven't answered the question, dude. Is God of War coming out?
I think he
this
said
year?
he doesn't believe
He
it is.
said he does.
I don't
Yeah, he
think
said
so.
it a few times, mate. Yeah, he said
Right?
he doesn't think that it is.
He doesn't think
All
it
right,
is.
all right.
So
Okay.
Okay, here's your
So-
answer. What are you going to do with it?
There's my answer. No,
Well,
it's not
I
coming out.
understand what he's saying about he goes by the history, but if you look at Horizon Horizon
Forbidden West,
Forbidden West. Yeah, you're right, mate. Forbidden West.
It's
Right.
not Zero Yawn.
Zero Dawn,
Well,
or Forbidden
well,
West.
if you want to
Sorry,
go
go on.
back, to look at the history, if you look at the God of War in 2018, if you look at Horizon Zero Dawn,
Okay.
we're not dealing with anything. We weren't dealing with anything in the world like we're dealing with right now.
Yep.
So
Nope.
maybe it has changed a little bit. You can't go off past history, but right now I look at games that are coming out that they have given a timeline on. So far, no news is good news
Mhm.
because we've seen
Okay.
if they decide on a delay, we've seen it come out as soon as they make that decision. They break it to the community right away. And no news yet, this close, I see as a good thing. And
I'm just going to say one
perhaps
word.
during the Jeff Keighley show, we will get, and it'll drop 3 months later.
2 words, sorry. Red Fall. No news, and then, oh shit, it's only supposed to come next month. Delay. Like, I know it's Xbox,
Yeah,
but I'm
but
just saying.
but
I'm
if you're
just
going on,
saying.
Well, but to be fair here, right? The only thing we ever got for God of War for a release was
A logo.
2021,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Did they ever say anything beyond that? Like at this point, we're just assuming it was supposed to come out this year. Is it going to come out this year? Maybe it is. I think they did have something saying 2022 at some point because they said, oh, it was 2021. Whoops. No, it's 2022. But that's really it. We don't know. And it might move to next year. Here's another question for you. What is the Sony slate for next year? Let's say, we already know Starfield's next year from Xbox. Let's say 3 of the other games come out, right? That we know that they're in the process of developing. What is the Sony answer to that?
Spider-Man 2 is still slated for 2022 if you look on the website.
2023.
Sorry, 2023. They have confirmed
Wolverine.
that it's supposed
Wolverine's
to be 2023.
way out.
But
Yeah,
again,
Wolverine's way
Wolverine's 2025.
Okay.
But again, I don't see that game coming in 2023 either.
I agree.
Insomniac
I don't think it is
are
either.
great.
I
but
don't think it is.
they can pull that off either. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
do you
don't
know
think it
what?
is.
That's an amazing point. What have Sony got when Xbox releases all these games in 2023, 2022, whatever? What's Sony's answer?
Exactly. And if they don't even have God of
that's
War,
fucking-
they might just say, you know what, let's
seriously.
hold it. We've already released Horizon. We've already released Gran Turismo. Well, maybe we just hold this one, right? And you use Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy Forspoken, which we know is coming, right? And that'll bridge the gap, right? But what else do they have? Right.
To answer
I'm
your
just trying to
question,
think.
your question, underneath the heading on Twitter, the Santa Monica Twitter, it says coming to PlayStation 5 and 4 in 2022.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
does
that's what
say.
they updated at 2020. Like, oh no, it's 2022, and so I think that's all we have. We don't know. We don't know what. That's it. It's at some time frame. We don't know. And the other part is when those games came out last time, it was just PS4. But to be fair, it was PS4, PS4 Pro. Now it's PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5. Right. So they have 3 platforms to develop for. We're assuming it's not coming to PC immediately, right? So that does add more overhead.
It's gonna be PC. Come on, let's be fair. Come on.
Not
it's
day and
gonna be
date.
PC.
It will eventually, absolutely. But day and date, no.
Absolutely.
We assume at launch it's not.
Wolverine will be though. Wolverine will be day and date on PC. I'm telling you now.
we'll have
It's
it
possible.
released.
If we expect that to be
Of
2025,
course it will.
it's
Of course it
possible.
will.
It's
Of course
possible.
it will.
You wait for the Spider-Man sales on PC, and they start seeing that money, man. Sony doesn't give a shit about.
So where I
and
think that's
gambling.
going to start happening is when all of the stuff that they wanted to port over that Nixus is working on to do, once they've
It's
caught
done.
up, right?
Mhm.
Then it's like, well, hey, while you're making that game, we're going to start working with you to get that PC port done. right? So at that point, yeah, you should start expecting to see that. Even if it's
Very
off
good
by
point.
3 months or 6 months, it's going to come out pretty fast, either day and date or very soon.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you make, Hargeet. When you look at the slate of games that are coming out for Xbox in 2023,
Yeah.
I just can't see how Sony's going to compete with that.
So they might want to hold it. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of the chess moves they have to
I
play
don't know.
here.
I think we just need to see what are they going to be announcing during their true
That's the key.
PlayStation events. That's the first things first, because
Yep.
we don't even know if the games that we are going to be getting that are already announced on Xbox are going to be actually released in 2023. Like
Could get Destiny
we
3.
we are
We don't know
waiting
what
a long time for a lot of
Understood.
those games. Like
And I'm sure Sony is too, right? And
exactly.
by 2023, Xbox will also own Activision Blizzard and King.
Yep.
So they'll
PlayStation
suddenly
London
get
are making
a
that
lot
game.
more
I'm not
stuff.
sure when that's going to
Like-
be releasing, but
like-
I it might be around 2023, end of 2023.
Like,
I know that's a big project for them.
I think it's interesting, like this process of thoughts that we are having here, because like, okay, when the games get released in 2023, what is Sony's response to that? But what if they don't get released in 2023? What if they get delayed? Like we were hoping and saying, "Oh my God, what is Sony's response to Starfield at the end of this year?" And it got delayed. Like, what if anything else gets delayed as well? So we cannot necessarily say like, "Oh my God, what are they going to be doing?" They can announce something big this year.
Yeah,
That's
we
a way
don't
of
know. That's
practice.
true, right? There might be a whole bunch of things Sony is working on that we just don't know about,
Exactly.
right? We know they're
Exactly.
working on stuff, obviously, right? They're working on stuff, obviously. They have 21 studios, they're doing something, right? But
Yes.
what it is they're going to release, we don't know. And it could be that, like, hey, they hit their stride at the end of the PS4 gen, and now they're in the middle of making games, and they'll eventually come, but they may not have a lot for a couple of years.
Yeah, so
So they
Ghost
say-
of Tsushima 2 will be coming at some stage.
Yep.
There's that rumored game by, I always forget his name, the guy that made that walking simulator. Risk it, help me out, mate.
Hideo Kojima?
The
Training.
UPS,
Kojima.
UPS simulator.
Kojima.
Delivery simulator.
Death Stranding?
Death
Such a
Stranding,
great
yeah.
game,
So
honestly.
we're
Death
pretty
Stranding
sure
2
it's
did
gonna
not
be
get
into
announced
it.
here.
But once you're
Yes.
into
Death
it, the
Stranding
6
2
hours
did
is
not
worth
get
it.
announced.
Ah, you
Right.
mean the Jeff
you-
Bezos career simulator? Okay, nice.
Yeah, the Courier
Ouch.
Simulator, yeah.
But I guess that would
Did you
probably
guys
be
see
a
the? Did
feeling
you guys
one,
see
right?
the leak? That there was a leak on Twitter, and it's on pretty good authority that at this state of play, they're going to have Project Destructive, Project E for. Oh, hang on, it's already happened, isn't it?
Yes.
PlayStation insiders, they know what they're talking about.
Always.
Sorry.
Always.
Oh man, they did get a couple of things right though. So that also is something I wanted to throw out there for you guys. They did get a couple of things right. They got Resident Evil 4 right. They got Street Fighter 6 right. They got a PlayStation. They got Resident Evil Village update for the PlayStation VR 2 right. So there's actually quite a few things they did get right, and some of them aren't like easy picks either. And there's a few other things on that list that are quite possible that I think we may see in a state of play after the showcase, Xbox showcase. Do you guys think we'll be seeing a second state of play after the showcase?
Well,
Fire back?
Undoubtedly, we're going to see
How
more.
often have they been running this state of plays now? Is it every 3 or 4 months?
Something like that.
Whenever they have something, really.
I don't.
Not even when they have something. Actually, the last few have been pretty rubbish, right?
Yeah.
Remember that
I
one that
don't-
was horrific?
I
God,
don't
that
think-
was great.
I don't think
That
they're
was-
going
that
to
was
be.
hilarious.
I don't think they're going to be calling it a state of play. I think they're going to be calling it PlayStation Showcase.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah, I really think so,
Yeah.
because like Game of State was always something more related to third party games. If
Yeah.
they want to announce their big stuff and they want to show us their big weapons, they need to do their events.
So when do you expect that, Fabio, then?
Yeah, I do expect for them to get a PlayStation event just like we had in 2020, and people were saying that that event was better than the Xbox event and all that kind of crap. La-di-da.
We lost somebody. It looks like
Yeah, Evil. We lost animated Evil.
Oh,
Animated Evil.
yeah, Evil.
This is the time of year. This is gaming Christmas. This is when everybody pulls out their big guns and shows why you should be buying a PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo, and
Yes.
saving up that money before that Christmas period.
Exactly.
And so I'm expecting huge things from the Xbox showcase. And I'm sorry to say, PlayStation just didn't bring enough to show me why I need to buy a PlayStation 5 today.
Just a disclaimer on what Pete
this
said.
is not
We
a
don't
big event.
encourage people to pull out their big guns. We're just saying that the companies do that, so that's illegal.
Jesus Christ, Risk.
I'm just,
Oh my
I'm just
God.
saying. We just
Oh
want to
my
cover
God.
those bases. You don't want to get
Oh
sued.
my God, Risk.
Sorry, go for it. Yeah, you're
Shout out to Evil. I'm doing this on such short notice. He did touch in the live chat that it is 3 a.m. for him. So maybe he did have to hop because it is 3 a.m. in the morning for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it was really good for him to come on the show.
Shout out to you, Animated Evil, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
But I think the best part actually of this time of the year is not to think what are they going to show, is to speculate like for sure what are the games that it's 100% true they are not going to be showing. I bet they are never going to be showing us Rise Son of Rome 2 and neither Danger 3. So yes.
I literally,
Well,
by
we
the
know
way,
that they were trying to buy that IP back off Crytek, and they didn't want to release it. Which I don't know why. If they're just going to sit on it, then why not just sell it? It's such a great IP. I really want to Rise Son of Rome 2. Sorry,
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, mate.
No,
No, you're right. You're right. I just wanted to mention that actually Rise, if you don't know, is actually free in the Microsoft Store. I was just looking it up the other day. I did own it physically, and I was like, "Oh, Rise! I haven't played that for a while. Maybe I'll jump on that." It wasn't just on Game Pass; it was like a Game Pass game. It's actually literally free to download and own. And it wasn't in Games with Gold. It was really weird. But Rise was great. It was just super repetitive. By the time it got to the end of it, it was repetitive. The story was okay, started really good, and then sort of seemed to fizzle out. From memory, it's been a long time since I played that game. But bringing back Rise, doing whatever they had to do, I mean, come on, there's got to be a sum of money.
All right.
Like, you can buy anything for a sum of money. I'm pretty sure anyone on this panel would, sell their ass for a specific sum of money.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
All right, so I've got a completely different panel tonight, and so I've ran this by my normal panel, and I am so interested to know what you all think will be the unseen shadow drop on June 12th.
Redfall.
Because I know what I think it is.
Oh, it's definitely
Hargeet.
going to be Plague Tale Requiem.
Yeah, I mean, but you're saying unseen, right? So this is something we've never seen before.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, because I mean, I agree, Jedi. That's
Banjo
probably going to
Free.
happen.
What'd you say, Fabio?
Either Banjo Free or Conquer.
Conquer would not make it in today's society. He'd be canceled on release
I
date.
don't give a fuck. Just bring the fucking squirrel.
Well, Fimba thinks it's going to be Banjo Kazooie and Scalebound.
No, he's
No way.
Yeah. Dark CMF is with you all. Plague Tale Requiem.
Well,
Yeah,
so the
that's
problem
another
is
10%
we don't
gonna
know what
happen.
it is, right? It's unseen.
I think Compulsion. I think Compulsion is going to drop. There's two for me, both the CCs. Compulsion, I think, is definitely going to drop something, and it's going to be a hell of a lot closer to release than we think it is. And I've made a couple of predictions like Redfall's going to be the shadow drop, and that just didn't turn out for me. But I'm going to make this prediction, right? I think that the Coalition are pretty close to finishing a UE5 version of 1, 2, and 3 Gears. I reckon that was their project.
Yeah, I was going to say those are the kind of things that are going to come. I think, Riskate, you're right. There's going to be like that Fallout thing we keep hearing about. There's going to be some remaster thingy, right? There's probably going to be a Sea of Thieves DLC or something, right? There's probably something like that.
always.
Right. So those are probably the drops you're going to get, right? Something like that.
So we've got Boba saying Arc
agree.
Raiders, and we've got Thimba saying something 007 related. We do know there's a 007 game being made at the moment. I like both of them.
Am I allowed to
Arc
say,
Raiders.
like I'm just so worried with what I just thought, because like when you guys mentioned about they're going to be announcing probably a Sea of Thieves DLC, I thought they're going to be announcing a special where is Johnny Depp winning Amber Heard's case. That's a new expression.
There'd be like a mode where she's throwing bottles at you, and the idea is to not lose your finger. Like you're gonna like dodge
It's
it.
just a courtroom, and that's it.
Oh man,
There's a lawyer. You can choose
So,
your
the
side.
defeat of the herd turd. Wait.
So my
I don't think I expect it, KY, but I would love it if they dropped the Battle Royale mode of Halo Infinite.
yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think we'll see something
Or
from
maybe
Halo, yeah.
they shadow drop Forge mode. That would be amazing also. Or maybe they drop co-op mode. Yeah,
co-op.
Either one of those three, I'd be wrapped.
Now this would be one that I don't know if it's going to happen, but like it would be cool if they had something from Activision, right? So whether it's, hey, we're bringing all these COD like old games into Game Pass, or Diablo 4, here you go, boom, it's in Game Pass.
Oh,
That would be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
What about Craft console version? Maybe, I don't know.
I think that's unlikely though, Hargeet, considering the fact that we don't. And I was kind of thinking that we might have by now at least the remastered, remade Diablo 2, and we don't have that yet. So it doesn't. I don't think they want to rock that boat, man. Like
I don't think that's
possible
going to
to
happen,
think, though, right?
Boba Fett. I don't think
So
that's going to happen.
up to now, there's been 0 Activision games in Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
So now that they have the deal in place, they might be a little bit more amenable to doing a Game Pass deal, right? So it's
Yeah.
possible that they actually, and ultimately, what does it mean to Microsoft? Hey, we're going to pay you, you're going to pay us because we own you anyway. What's
Yeah,
the
like,
difference?
We had that conversation on my show, right? Like
what's
we
the
had.
difference?
It is actually them paying, so they could make a deal that's like way above.
It's $1 billion.
like, what they would normally
Why
pay.
would they need to wait a second? Why would they need to do a deal with a company that they already own? Like,
Well, they don't own them
It's
yet.
not done
But
yet.
hang on.
That's the problem, right?
We
Ah.
were on separate sides of this argument
Ah.
last time. Last time I was saying it's like them going to pay themselves. So like, and you were like, hang on a minute, I'm not sure if the Xbox want to rock the boat. What happened here? It's like role reversal
Yeah.
or.
Yeah, it comes down to how legal it is for them to do it, right? As long as they're they're conducting, in other words, they can't strong arm. If anybody can make the case that they strong armed it, then they're in trouble. But if they say, hey, you know what, this is what our normal deal looks like, we approached them and said, hey, you know what, we'll offer you that much money. And they willingly decided, yes, it was part of it, not because we were trying to buy them. That's the
What
part
about
that's tough.
What about if they go? Oh, so hang on. Look, I might. Be
It's not a good look either way.
What if they go over and
That's the
above?
problem.
Over and above the deal. So what if they throw in, like say an extra couple of million? So here's the deal we would normally make, and here's an extra few million to make it like.
By the way, that's very. It'd be very nice.
It would be
Go
nice.
ahead.
What do you think if they threw in a couple extra million? Is there any legality issue there? So like we normally make a deal
within
for
normal
this.
bounds, right? So let's say it was, hey, you went to Take-Two and said, I want to get GTA 6. They're not going to do that for like the pennies on the dollar deal. It's going to be, you need to write a big check, right? Because that game is going to sell ridiculously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. If you're going to get COD, right? So this is one of these comments. It's a game that's going to sell, period, right? Like even last year's Vanguard still sold, 25, 30 million? And that's a crappy
disappointing
Call of Duty
sales for COD.
versus
Exactly.
Modern Warfare 2. It's going to sell. So if they want that in Game Pass, it's going to have to be a pretty big check, right? So as long as it's within those bounds, that you can make the case that, this is what it would have cost anyway, right? If we were to make this deal, this is what it would have cost, right? Then fair enough. But you have to make that look clean. So like Jenna, to your point, it would look bad.
So if
they
threw,
it would look bad.
So for instance,
But if
if
you
they
want to
threw
replace
say 20,
Starfield,
say
Call of
20
Duty
million
Modern Warfare.
sales, 20 million sales of Modern Warfare would be around about the $1.2 billion mark, right? So then if they threw say, $2 billion at it and said, look, listen, we're going to throw $2 billion at this that you would have made, a 1.2, and here's a little bit extra to cover your development costs, whatever. And we're going to take this. I mean, it's not going to happen because PlayStation has a deal with them, and we don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's unlikely to happen. But if they did do that, that would be within the bounds, right? It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Again, it has to be within like what you would consider normal operating procedures for them, right? So normal operating, business model. So as long as it doesn't look like it's, hey, we're going to dump $10 billion, make it happen, right? That's a little much, right? So, but yeah, if it was something reasonable, I think they could potentially do it.
And we don't know what's in the deal that Sony has with
that's what I was going to mention.
Activision.
Jedi.
And we know that they have changed the deal for Resident Evil, and Sony basically said to them that we don't want this game coming into Game Pass and they've had to rewrite the way these deals are done because of Game Pass. But how far back the deal goes with Call of Duty, we're not sure. But sorry, I get you, go, mate.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is like I think that deal is from quite a while ago. I think it's 2016, 17. So this is before Game Pass was really a thing. Nobody cared about it at that point. I think it was announced in 2016 and it came out in 17, something like that, right? So at that point, like Sony could care less about Game Pass. It didn't matter, right? So. I don't know that they have any clause in there that says no, you can't put that on Game Pass. So it may be free to do, or it may be totally fine. So we don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, PlayStation. We know that PlayStation's got marketing rights. We know that. How solid those rights are, and can Microsoft buy them out? I don't see that. I don't see that happening. That'd be awesome. I do definitely see Coalition saying we've got the Gears collection coming December. 25th, Merry Christmas or something.
Something like that, yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
I would say Saints Row or Gotham Knights would be more likely. And if they're going to spend $1.2 billion, I would rather than acquire a studio than get COD on Game Pass, to be honest.
That's true. Especially since it's coming anyway, right? And so, like, let's say that deal finishes sometime late this year, right? By beginning of next year, you should just see the game in there anyway, right? It's going to be in Game Pass anyway. So...
Exactly. Yeah.
How much of a thing are you getting there? Again, ultimately they're paying themselves, so it doesn't matter, right? So that money's just going to come right to their bank anyway. But ultimately, it's a question of to your point, Jedi. Hey, you have capital. Can you use that capital to do something better right now? And one of the things that I think Zocker pointed this out was like, hey, there might be an Assassin's Creed that's going to be announced, and what if that came into Game Pass? Right, that might be a fantastic win, right? And they already, I believe, Ubisoft's already slated to put something in the Xbox showcase, the June showcase. So if that's the case, if Assassin's Creed gets announced,
that would be awesome.
And you imagine that coming into Game Pass, right? Or they do something like Ubisoft plus whatever the tier was, Essentials, whatever it is, the classics that PlayStation just got might also come to Game Pass Ultimate, and then along with that, we're pulling in Assassin's Creed, whatever it is, right? The new one, day and date.
My drop is, again, it's a series of games that's already out. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and they're either going to have a date that will be available on Game Pass for console, or they're going to drop them just like they did the Halo Infinite test flight during the show. And that is all 4 Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Because we haven't heard we heard that it was coming to console.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything since.
Cool.
And I got my buddy Dealer Gaming. I got him fighting the urge to start Age of Empires up on his PC because every time he hops on Xbox, he sees me on my computer playing Age of Empires Definitive Edition. And to be honest with you, I don't use any of the hotkeys on my keyboard. I do it all with my mouse, so I don't understand what the issue is. Just whatever controls you use with Halo Wars 2, just copy those controls and let's go.
That's a bad example. Don't use Halo Wars 2, that control scheme. I won't play that game because
it's so much better than the first one.
It's horrific, man. Like Gears Tactics, they nailed that system. Gears Tactics, they stole it directly from XCOM, Enemy Unknown, and it's beautiful, beautifully done. They couldn't do it themselves. I'm sorry, because 343 and Bonnie Ross can just seriously get the. Anyway,
They didn't make that game though. 343 didn't make that game though, did they?
I'm just dragging her in, man. Come on. Let me have my
Always have
Bonnie
to.
Ross slander.
Always have to kill her, right?
Okay, she would love me. But on what you said about Assassin's Creed as well, I think Age of Empires is definitely coming to console, and I think very, very soon, and we'll at least get a date. So I reckon that's a very likely one. That's a really good call. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I was just looking it up, grossed 1 billion in revenue. So again, that would be a pretty expensive get. You've got to think you've got to go over and above the billion. So you're looking at at least 1.5, right? So
no, you wouldn't have to spend $1 billion. No, it would be several hundred million. That's probably realistic. Because look, it's not going to eliminate PlayStation players from buying it. It's not going to eliminate PC players from buying it. Some PC Game Pass people will take it. Some Xbox Game Pass people will take it. Some will just buy it anyway, right? So I don't think that's going to be it. It's not the full amount, but some chunk of it, 200-300 million. Yeah, you could pull it off.
You think 200-300 billion?
I would say
he's talking
that.
200-300 million. Yeah, I think that'll be that's a lot. I think that'll be enough.
I would say it'd be unlikely that Assassin's Creed gets put in there. I know Ubisoft have done with Extraction. They've put it day and date with into Game Pass, but I would see them more doing that with X Defiant. That game hasn't shown well so far. It is a game that would work quite well in Game Pass, similar to what Game Pass did for Extraction. So I could see all that happening.
I don't want Xbox to do that, because that is slowly turning Game Pass into Ubisoft's shit dump, where they go. And I think if you're Xbox, you're like, hang on a minute, man. Like, yeah, we did Extraction because that was a big life and it was your first. Like, I get that, but if they start just shit dumping stuff and throwing shit at a wall at Game Pass, I don't think Xbox is going to be like, yeah, we're loving this. It's great. Throw us your crap. And keep your premium.
It's a relationship. Maybe
it
building
does,
it up
but
to something bigger.
I think Riskit has a point, right? Microsoft wants higher tier games. They want like the higher Metacritic games in Game Pass. So and they've got cash, right? So they're gonna write a check if it's a good game that they can get. The flip side of this, Ubisoft is tanking, right? They're not doing well. That's just a fact, right? They're getting to the point where like they're hostile takeover attempts. They're not in good shape, right? So they want money, right? So for them to get cash directly, I mean, the deal can always be for every download, anybody who plays over 5 hours, you get $20, right? That's fantastic for them, right? So why would Ubisoft say no to that, right? So it really just comes down to what deal they make. And remember, Microsoft literally has billions to write checks for Game Pass. Billions. Mm-hmm. So if they could they lost Starfield. They need a replacement. I hear Gotham Knights is one. That's fine. That's an option. But Assassin's Creed is established, big, huge thing.
But like
when Gotham Knights was put out for a trailer, half the audience thought it sucked, and half the audience said, "Hey, wait, it's just a reality."
Would you consider
this is assuming that there is going to be an Assassin's Creed game come out this year, and I think that there definitely is. Oh,
there
awesome!
Is. Yeah, okay. There is.
Like, would you actually consider like Gotham Knights a good equivalent game to substitute Starfield?
No.
Like I think
but
that
it is part of the Batman universe, and Batman will
it's a great game.
well.
I think it'll be fun, but it's not. It's
yes,
not
but
Starfield.
You know what I think it could work actually if they during this Xbox game show they announced it that they're going to be releasing a remaster of Fallout New Vegas. It's actually the same game but remastered.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that, right? So Riskit said, "Hey, the Gears
I think
and the Fallout remasters, I think are
but I think that would be the best substitute because we're talking about a Bethesda IP substituting another Bethesda IP, and we're talking about a first-party exclusive because
nothing at this point. Nothing at this point.
An old game, even though it's going to be remade.
That actually takes me into my second Shadow Drop. My second Shadow Drop that I believe we are going to get a promo for New Vegas 2.
But would you say that it's going to be released this year?
It's a possibility, yeah.
No, definitely not released.
We heard months ago that right now the whole talk the one key word that everybody keeps bringing up inside of Xbox Game Studios is New Vegas 2. And they now have the studio. They made Outer Worlds, made New Vegas. They now are in the process of obtaining Bethesda, who gave the rights to.
No, they already own
to
Bethesda.
make new.
Yeah, they already own Bethesda, right? So they already have that.
With other rights.
Yeah, they already
Yes.
own Bethesda.
So
they also have
it's
an
gonna
Exile
happen.
who created it.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah,
happen.
but didn't Exile push back against that rumor, saying that they weren't doing that? I mean, In Exile are already working on a couple of games, so I'm sure we're going to see more of that in the showcase. They said
Are
that
you-
they're already making.
mean
So
mean
they're making what? No. Sorry.
A steampunk first-person
Sorry,
shooter.
Obsidian. Yeah, sorry,
Because
Obsidian.
because Nexa didn't announce anything yet.
Yeah. Sorry, Obsidian announced that they would be making New Vegas 2, and I have to take them on their word. They're already making Grounded 2. They're making.
They're making Grounded, Outer Worlds 2, and Avowed. Those are.
And Avowed, exactly.
And then
so that's a very.
And
full
then
plate
there's
for
the
them.
other one. Is it Pentiment? There's a small game that also is being made, right? I think
It's
that's
just
Obsidian.
amazing how
Yeah.
Obsidian is Xbox Insomniac.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Just amazing, like.
Shout out to
I
Boba
guess I
Fett
will
Gaming.
say,
Yes, do play Halo Wars 2. Don't listen to the panel right now. The controls are great.
I do like Halo Wars 2.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I don't mind it.
I had fun with it. A lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, Halo Wars 2's control scheme. Look, I as well. I'll throw in a caveat. I can't deal with RTS, TTS games without mouse and keyboard. It doesn't feel right to me. I kind of started playing those games. The only one that I've Gears Tactics is one that's good with the controller. I'm still playing that with mouse and keyboard. And XCOM 2 was great with the controller, but there's many of them are just.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, dude. The only games that I play on my kick-ass PC are real-time strategy games. I play my Command & Conquers, my Age of Empires, my Halo Wars, Star Wars Empire at War. Please bring that back so this generation can experience it.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I would, the amount of Star Wars games that's in development, I would not be surprised if we see a Star Wars RTS, TTS. That would be
Probably.
Empire at War was so good. It was so good.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Dragon's Dogma 2. That's what I want to see.
Dragon's Dogma 2. I don't even think I'm aware of Dragon's Dogma 1. Are you sure that was any good?
It was
pretty
absolutely
good.
amazing. Fantastic game. Yeah, absolutely. I love that game. Fantastic game.
He played that instead of Gears. He's never actually played Gears. He got someone else to play it for him. So that's why you can see it on his Xbox. I'm sorry, Pete. I had to out you on the show, but it's you just got to go with the facts, and these are the facts.
Moron.
Okay, straight to the point.
That was Riskit talking about himself.
Oh!
Getting saucy up in here, it is.
Nice. We'll go to the chat. Sorry,
it was there.
Absolutely. Play Halo Wars if you if it's there, take it. Low hanging fruit, you can reach it, grab it.
I never really got into RTS games, so I watched the storyline of Halo Wars 2 before I played Infinite because they coincide with each other. But
have you
played
the Halo Wars 1 story?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did play through that. And I don't know, man. I just didn't really get into it.
Well, the story of 1 cannot hold a candle to the story of 2.
It's true.
Yes,
I think the 2 one was really, really good. But I liked 1 as well. I thought it was awesome. And all
me too. I think they're great and really well told stories.
Yeah, and the animations, whatever, like the cutscenes, whatever company that is they use to do that, that's so good.
As well with Gears Tactics, if you like Gears, you have to play Gears Tactics to understand the story of Gears because some shit happens in that game that explains a lot, and really shifts your perspective on how the whole grubs. I can't think of the name of them now. How the grubs kind of came into being. I got to that story beat last night, and the night before, and my mind was blown. So if you haven't played Gear Tactics, you've got to play Gear Tactics. That's great.
Yeah,
and Pete, you're going to get back on that game.
Is fantastic. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, and the characters, Sid and Gabe Diaz, they're great characters.
For sure.
And they're better than Kate, really, in the mainline entry.
And the story's better than 5 twists and turns, man. Like, I was just like, what is happening? Yes! You just getting that, like, spinning around on my chair and shit. And go,
I did enjoy Kate in Gears 5. I really enjoyed that story.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying it's a bad character. I enjoyed the story as well. I really did, but I just think that Sid and Gabe are better characters.
I hate 5. There's no secret there. 5's story was just you're taking me away from Marcus Phoenix with every step, and the further away you get, the less I like the story.
So
like
you
Marcus
just hate. So you just hate Gears 4.
No, I don't hate Gears 4.
Didn't even really have a story. Really, it was terrible.
That's JD. So. I mean, that's still a step, a link away from, and it made sense because that's his son, so that's a progression, and they could have really gone a certain way with that, and then all of a sudden we're at this,
I agree with it.
It's such a tenuous link.
At least
he met a chick, and then now the story's about her.
Yeah, at least it's still about the Phoenix family. In 5, you're going into the Diaz family.
Exactly.
It's a step away. The next collection is meant to be the Marcus Phoenix collection.
Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully they bring back 1, 2, and 3 in UE Even Judgment, as long as they get rid of that control scheme, because that was, I don't know what the I know that wasn't Coalition, that was People Can Fly, but if they did 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that UE5 collection, that would be. I would want that. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't. Every time someone mentions, I don't really want a collection, and then you say, well, what about a UE5? Everyone's like, oh yeah, I would want that. Like, how could you not want a Gears game of any sort in UE5, man? I want it now.
I think the Marcus Phoenix collection will be amazing. And look, it's never been on PC. 2 and 3, so it'll give them a chance to for the first time.
It's never been on PC. Let's keep it that way.
No, I think we should definitely have it on PC. Let's bring it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
This is where me and a lot of people in both sides of the community differ. I look at Xbox and PC as if they are the same platform.
Yeah.
So
they definitely have a symbiotic relationship now, and Microsoft have basically said straight out that they're not going to buy a studio unless they can make PC games as well. So they're headed in that direction, and I like that.
For sure.
Not even headed. Like what exclusive has come out in the last 5 years that hasn't been on PC? I mean, they make games for Xbox and PC, and Bob, I share your view, mate. The thing is, the systems. Like when you talk about an Xbox, it's more comparable to a PC than any other console, and it basically is a PC, right? We're at that point in time where consoles are basically PCs with a locked ecosystem, and not even that locked. I mean, you can still do a lot of things.
Yep.
And a lot of people say, well, the PlayStation has the PC components. Yeah, but the PlayStation runs on Unix though. It cannot use DirectX.
Mm-hmm.
DirectX
is
native to Windows.
I mean, Hargeet knows more about this than me, but I mean, the APIs, the back end shit with when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation are just completely different directions. So, and Xbox is focusing more on making the Xbox and PC not hard to develop for. So you develop for Xbox, it's not that much of a jump for you to develop that game for PC. And that's another clever move by Xbox, where I think PlayStation didn't know that they were going to start to lean on PC sales. So,
Boba Fett Gaming in the chat.
I saw
being
that.
Toxic, his PC backlog just got bigger with Spider-Man.
That's right.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Batman with webs. You know, if you've played Arkham Knight, it's no
Yep.
point playing Spider-Man. To be honest.
Well, I rounding up to 2 hours now. I guess that is this episode of Game Set Live. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking us out, and to all of my amazing guests for answering the call of a community member in need. We'll just go from first underneath me, Hargeet, Chani. Yeah, that's right. It says Hargeet, but I know you as Hargeet Chani.
Yep.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm on Game On Daily. I don't know when the next time I'm actually going to be on the show for Go Live, but I'm part of Game On Daily, and yeah, I do have a YouTube channel, but I think I'm putting most of my stuff now on Game On Daily whenever it finally gets put out there. And yeah, other than that, I'll be checking out the game showcase actually in LA. So I'll be there with a handful of people, including Colt, to actually see it live with the
I'm
Xbox
jealous. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Can I possess your body for like an hour so I can spend time with Colt?
Oh my god, you have to be very careful with your answer there. Be very careful.
I'll come back to Kentucky and be like, I touched Colt Eastwood, but not as myself.
This is going wrong places.
Are we back with the kidney story now? Are we going back to that?
Oh, you touched Colt's kidney. Ooh. That's some good reach. You made it. That's good reach.
Wow.
Oh my god.
And Risk It for the Biscuit. One of my favorite gamer tags of all. Risk It for the Biscuit. I love it. Thank you for answering the call and helping out a buddy tonight in his time of need. Where can people find you at?
If you look down in the chat there, I have linked my YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, carry it out. And you can find me console warring on Twitter. Anything I say, disclaimer on anything I say on Twitter. Half of the shit I say I don't even believe. I just do it to like wind people up, and it works like amazingly almost every time. If I say PlayStation has no games, like you can guarantee there'll be thousands coming at me, which is not true. They've got Stray coming, so that's exciting. Really exciting. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off on a complete tangent. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at RiskIt4TB. You can find me on YouTube at the link there, Risk It for the Biscuit. And yeah, Risk It for the Biscuit is not just a name, it's a way of life. That's
right. Because we all love the way the biscuits taste, so we risk it all to get them.
And we're going back to Colt's kidney.
Fabio, brother from another mother in Brazil. Where can people find you? And thank you for accepting my invite to the show today.
By the way, speaking of that, you can send the check that you promised me tomorrow. It's all good. No worries at all.
Dude, I PayPal'd that shit like an hour ago. If you haven't got it, call PayPal.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus. No, but like for those that don't know me, hello, I am Fabio. I am member of the XPL Party podcast. We are a small channel. We started a podcast last year, and we had Bob as a panel member of that. It was really fun, great time until the time that he decided to make this great show. And thank you so much for the invites. I feel honored and glad to be here. You can find me as well on Twitter as FBO Amorim97, as well as on Xbox with the gamer tag BullFunLizard8. Don't ask about the name. Like, just don't ask about it.
Don't ask. I brought it up on a podcast before. Don't ask.
Just. Oh my god. And that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
Dude, it was a blast to connect with you again. It really was.
Always there.
And JediKnightPeter, the man with the green lines that make no sense whatsoever. Where can people find you?
Thank
The
you
main
so much for having me
Hargeet.
get back on Game Set Live. Second time on, been on the show. Love it every time, mate. So I appreciate it. I love getting more than 20 minutes notice this time as well, bro. You can find me on Twitter at JediKnightPeter. You can find me on Xbox at JediKnightPeter, and we will be going live for Xbox Infinite, myself, Risket, and Infinite Umbra, and Doom Cutie at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Please join us, Xbox Infinite, on Risket for the Biscuits YouTube channel.
I thought we cancelled that. No, I'm kidding.
What? Don't do that. That's one of our weekly tune-ins.
And Jedi Knight Peter has a GoFundMe to get a webcam.
For his Xbox.
It's on his OnlyFans. You can just link to his OnlyFans. Go straight to there. There's not much content on there because it's not on camera, but he just like licks the mic and growls into it.
And this is your host, KY Bob. If you liked watching and listening to a bunch of honest folks just shoot the shit, give us a like, share, subscribe. You can find me everywhere: PlayStation, Xbox, Twitch, Steam. It's all KY Bob. It's either got a space or an underscore between the Y and the B. And it was great to see everybody. It was great to be seen by everybody as usual. Everybody have a nice weekend, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye!
Goodbye!
Later.